A moment of stark political realism clashed with deeply held convictions on the set of TheView as co-host Alyssa Farah Griffin, a former Trump insider, delivered an uncomfortable prediction that visibly unsettled the studio audience and her fellow hosts. The segment became a dramatic microcosm of the very national divide it sought to analyze. The tension was palpable after Griffin prefaced her comments by acknowledging she was about to say something that's going to make this table and this audience very upset. But I want to tell the unvarnished truth. She then asserted, I think if the election were re-held today, Donald Trump would win by the same, if not a bigger margin. The ensuing groans and mumbled complaints underscored the chasm between her data-driven analysis and the audience's emotional response. Prompted by a skeptical Joy Behar, Griffin grounded her argument in polling data, suggesting that on key issues like the economy, voters still trust Republicans more. We are literally a 48-48 country, she explained, and then this little percentage in the middle that goes either way. This framed the election not as a moral referendum, but a pragmatic battle for a narrow sliver of swing voters. The debate intensified as the conversation turned to a poll finding that more than half of Americans believe democracy is not working. While her co-hosts argued that Trump himself is a threat to democratic institutions, Griffin countered that this focus is a strategic miscalculation by Democrats. She posited that for the majority of voters grappling with daily life, existential concerns about democracy are a luxury they cannot afford. If it's a Tuesday morning and you're deciding what bill you can afford to pay, you're not voting on democracy, you're voting on the cost of living, Griffin stated, articulating a central tension in modern American politics, the prioritization of economic stability over systemic preservation. The segment highlighted Griffin's own complex political journey, adding layers of meaning to her words. A lifelong Republican who served as Trump's communications director and now believes he is unfit and dangerous, a conviction that led her to vote for Kamala Harris, she nonetheless argued that his electoral appeal remains potent. She directly challenged her colleagues' fears, dismissing California Governor Gavin Newsom's warning that Trump would not leave office in 2028 as hyperbolic. This stance, however, stood in stark contrast to her own 2022 comments to Frontline, where she labeled Trump an imminent threat to democracy. The contradiction painted a portrait of a political commentator grappling with a difficult reality. One can personally oppose a candidate while acknowledging the powerful, often material, forces driving their support. Her conclusion was a sobering warning to her own side. I think that people throw around the term democracy. I think Democrats totally overcalculated this last election. In the end, the audience's reaction was more than just disapproval of an opinion. It was a visceral rejection of a narrative that suggests fundamental democratic principles can be secondary. Griffin's analysis, whether agreed with or not, forced a confrontation with the uncomfortable possibility that in today's America, kitchen table issues may still outweigh the fate of the republic itself. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our channel for more updates.